Hi there, this is Kevin once again, and here I welcome you all to the new episode of IoT with Firebase series. So guys, if you know, in the previous I have created lot of videos regarding IoT with Firebase, and there I created two videos which was regarding IoT, Google controlling IoT LED or the devices using Google Assistant, and for that I use this flow, the Google Assistant, then dialog flow, where we are using webhook response in the Firebase functions, and through Firebase you are able to control this LED. So now I posted those videos 1 year before, and at that time I was using, if I will show you this, I was using API v1 over here. You can see here I used API v1 in the previous videos, but now if we go to Dialogflow, now you can see API v1 is, there is no option for adding API v1. I also got to know this thing from your comments. You can see if I go to the comment section, there are a lot of comments which are saying where is the API v2 code. So here in this video I'm gonna show you how you can create the API v2 code, and this API v2 code is just nothing, it is just a new code for a Firebase function which will be get triggered from our webhook response. So guys, without being more said, let's get started. So hi guys, you can see here I created this hackanons underscore IoT previous 1 year before. I created two videos back to back for this project, and if you are new to this video, then I will suggest you please watch my two videos before that I have created over here in IoT with Firebase series. And guys, if you are watching this for updated version, I'm gonna suggest you some of the things. So you can see this is my previous project that I created, and in this project currently this project is not working. The reason is the Dialogflow, I have changed the API v1 to v2 and it is not working. So I will show you the step by step way how to resolve it. But guys, before that I'm gonna tell you one more thing. Like previously when I created this whole IoT with Firebase series, it was working on a library named Firebase extended Firebase Arduino, and that library is depreciated now. So now there is a new library that I found. It is really working fine. Currently it is in under development and you are getting latest patches day to day. So for that I have created these two videos. Like this is just for introduction of the library, then this one is for how to control the values, because before for controlling the values I was using a simple while loop function for controlling. It was doing a get request again. That is not a good thing. So you can directly stream the values from this console to this node MCU. So let's try. You can see here in previous videos also we were using the value 0 and 1. So you can see currently it's 0. That's why this LED is this LED is off now. If I change this to 1, you can see that's bam guys, in the real time we are able to change this. And while changing this the code is little bit different now. We are using streaming thing for changing the values. That is really important, because if you want to control the multiple devices from this, you can't use a void loop function for checking if what is the status. So that's why I will suggest you to watch these two videos also. These are for the updated library, you will get to know, and later I will create more videos if you guys are interested. So now let's don't go in these things, let's move on to the main topic, that is our how to update the API v2. So for updating the API v2, what we need to do, we need to go to the fulfillments, and where we need to pass a new URL, because this URL was on API v1 that I created previously. So all the steps for creating this video tutorial are almost same, only the change is in changing this URL, means changing the code of this URL. So let's do the coding work. So in my part 2 I have already told how to configure the Firebase CLI, and here I'll create YouTube v2 update. I'm just getting a directory over here, and here I'll directly open CMD over here. In CMD I will initialize the new Firebase project. So as I do Firebase init, it will automatically ask for, are you ready to proceed? I will say yes. Then here you need to select for a function. So because what we are doing for checking the that URL is a Firebase function URL, which is passing the values as a param from our Dialogflow to the to this function, and this function is setting the values in our database. So now so here I've used an existing project that I have already configured for this So it says failed to list project, see debug log. Okay, I think there is some issue. I'll just try to once again. I hope it should work. Firebase functions, and here I'll do use an existing project. So you can see for the first time it was not working, so I did it again, it's working now. So here I will select the project name is Esri that I am working from last 2 years. I'm just using this project for testing purpose only. So I'll enter. So it will say the function will be created in your project with a Node.js. So here it will suggest for a type of language. So you can use JavaScript, TypeScript. I'm using JavaScript, and I'll say yes and say npm now, say yes. So it is just asking for installing the dependencies. So once this thing will be done, actually in previously 1 year before, Firebase initializes the function with the name hello. Now I think they changed the little bit, now it will be hello world. So we will be using that function only, because I don't want to go in that thing like how to control the Firebase functions. But Firebase functions are really powerful, guys. Like from that you can also push out notification, direct Firebase messaging if a sensor value changes. So if you want to know like how to control the notification directly from Firebase functions, because Firebase functions are serverless, that's one of the important thing. So if you want, I can create the video for that thing. So you can see by default we get this. So what I'm gonna do, you can see this is a function hello world that is created by default. So I'm just gonna change this function to hello world to, I'll say hello assist, hello IoT. So I'm just changing the name of the function, it doesn't mean lot. So now the thing is what we need to do. So you can see in this function we are having two things, one is request, then is another is response. So this request is when somebody will trigger this function URL, you will get something in this request, and response is what will be the response. So the response will be the same like hello from, I'll do Google Assistant IoT bot. So it will response with the same URL. So main thing we need to do over here. So let's do it. Here we have initialized our database object. Now the thing is what we need to do from this request, as we already know, this request will get the data when somebody will hit this function. So from that we need to get the params, and those params are the values which will be sent by our bot. So I'll make params equal to, so in this params I need to type request dot, in this request I need to check for the body. In this body we will be having query results. So I'll type query result. In this query result I'll be having the parameter, so that parameters I need. So I'll be having parameters over here, and once this will be done I'll just do the console log. So I will show how you can debug your function also if you are facing any error. So I'll do console.log, and guys don't worry, as always I will send the whole code in the description of the video. So params, so in this params I will add params over here. Now we have done the console. Now the thing that we need to do is we need to set these params to a database. So for setting this database we need to make this function as a async, because then only we can get a callback and we can await from them. So for that I will do database dot, and I will use the set function over here for actually we don't need to use a set, we need to use the update function. And so in the reference I'll just add it as a root, and if you want to add in some node, like if you want to add it in a sensors node, so you can add like this. So what it will do, in the sensors only it will set these params, but currently I don't need it because the code over in this node MC is written for this, so that can be done later. And in update I'll just set this params only. So that's it for this function, and currently this function will not bug, because what will happen when this whole function will be called, it won't wait for writing this data, it will directly send the response. That will be really a bad thing, because we need to wait until the data is not set. So for that I will add a await over here. In place of this we can also add a callback, like we can use then, but this is okay, it will work fine, I'm sure. And so this is that's it for this function. So once this whole function is done, we need to check if there is any error or not. So I will directly do Firebase deploy. If there will be any error, I will get to know, otherwise it will directly deploy the things. So let's see. So our deployment is going on. I hope there should not be any error. It's just running the things. So I don't think there is any error in the code. That's good. Like I did my whole code. So it is asking, like, because I have already done my first deployment with the name for hello world function, which was just I did for testing, because this hello world function was the default function. Now the function name is hello IoT. So I'll just say okay, overwrite. I don't need it. So it is just deleting my previous function. So you can add multiple functions in a file, and that is important. Like suppose I can tell you a use case used for the until this deployment is going on. Let's suppose what you want is, if this LED, in place of this LED there is a switch. If you, what you want is, if that switch is getting off, like the value of that switch is getting off, then you should get a notification. And if there is a sensor whose value, let's suppose it's a temperature sensor, currently it's a summertime in India, so if its value is getting more than 40 degrees Celsius, then you should get a notification. So that thing you can easily configure in these functions that are really important, and that one of the best thing in a Spark plan of Firebase, you get everything for free. So if you want me to know like how those things can be done, you can let me know. So our function is deployed successfully. Let's try. So this is our project console from where I can go. I will directly go to the functions over here, and let's test it whether it will work or not. So here's my whole function URL. You can see here this hello IoT is the name of the function that I added in over here. Where it is, yeah, over in the exports. So it is just like if you are working on a Node.js creating the REST API using Express. I hope you already are familiar with this syntax. So in the dialog flow, what we need to do, so this project was not working. Now I will just replace this, and after this replacing, what I need to do, it is just working, doing the save. So I need to go to the settings. In this settings, I need to change my URL from API v1 to v2, and I hope, because currently the currently v1 is already not there, so you will be having a v2 option, so there is no need of even changing that. So let's save it. Now once this whole save is done, let me go to the intent, because I forgot like what was our training phases. So the training phases, switch off the lights or switch on the, let's try switch off the lights first of all. So if I do switch off the lights over here, you can see that's when our light is off in the Firebase database. Let's check the value, what value we are getting. So that's when the value is set to off. And let me try with my voice also. So let me try power on the lights. So here I'm gonna try power on the lights please. So you can see it says power on the lights please here, one, and the light is on over here. So that's it for this video. I hope you like it. If you want to know more about Google Assistant part, you can continue watching this part 2 of this video, where it is, yeah, over here. And guys, I'm telling once again, the whole library for using this IoT with Firebase is changed, because previous library is depreciated now. So if you are facing any issues with like database connection, your data is not getting updated again and again, getting lost, so for that you can watch these two videos. These are really important. That's why I created these. After that only I created this video. If you're watching these two videos, I will suggest you to watch this video, that is a streaming for streaming the data, because I've used the same code over here. Previous code will work, but I am sure it is for development only. After 2 to 3 days, what will happen, your database fingerprint will change, and by this you won't be able to use this thing for production. I always suggest you, if you're learning something, that make it for something better. So that's it for this video. If you like, please don't forget to like, subscribe and comment. Bye bye and have a nice day.